Hello and welcome to the Character Unlock podcast. You're on episode 76 because I just made Brooke go and find it because he was very unprepared this time round, as per usual. As you can tell,
as per usual.
As you can tell, I'm John, your host this lovely, lovely episode. Unfortunately, for the people who don't like my voice, that means you get to hear it a lot more than normal. And with me is Brooker. How are you, Brooks?
Mate, I'm alright. I haven't said this in a while at the beginning of a podcast, but mate, I am so fucking tired.
And hot. It's actually quite warm this week as well.
Yeah, I feel like someone is just constantly dripping warm water down the back of my neck. It's kind of gross.
That's what you get for having long hair.
Yeah, I've got it tied back and like bunded up because it's fucking horrible. But yeah, I got home from Fright Fest yesterday, which is basically 5 days of excessive drinking, a lot of eating crap food, and not sleeping anywhere near as many hours as I need to.
It's because you're having night terrors.
No, actually, no. No, it's that time of year, and you watch a bunch of films with your mates, and then go around the pub, and then going to the pub turns into going to the it's a place on Charing Cross Road called the Phoenix Artists Club, which is where everyone tends to go because it's open till 3 in the morning, and then you sit drinking till 3 in the morning. From there, it was a half-hour walk back to my hotel, and then getting up somewhere
Is
around.
that a half-hour sober walk or
No,
a half-hour?
I still did it in half an hour, drunk. I did okay. But then I'd get up about 7 o'clock in the morning because if I didn't, I wouldn't have time to get showered, have breakfast, and FaceTime wife and kid for a little while before going and starting the whole vicious cycle over again.
Of watching more films.
Watching more films and drinking more beer and eating more shit food. More Wetherspoons burgers than I expected this week.
There are worse places to get a burger than a Wetherspoons.
To be fair, the burger was actually pretty damn good. And when you buy a round and it only costs you like 12 quid, I'm okay with that. Because
Plus, you do it on the app and then you don't have to go anywhere near Talk to anyone. They just bring it to you.
It's lovely. Yeah, no, it was a fantastic week, and I will actually get to talk about it a little bit later on because there was game stuff there, which was awesome. But yeah, so if I sound like I'm losing my voice, that's because I've only just got my voice back. Because Sunday night is karaoke night, and we sung loud. So loud, in fact, that the police were called and we were told we had to stop.
You managed to close an actual karaoke night.
Yes.
All right. Good job.
Yeah. That was impressive. But some of the song choices were a bit fucking dodgy. But you had the classics. You had Bohemian Rhapsody, Here I Go Again, Alice Cooper's Poison. They all got super fucking loud. And yeah, we legitimately had the police called on us.
Nice.
Which I don't think I've ever seen happen before.
Did you sing Freak on a Leash?
No, I did not.
But you were drunk. It's part of the requirements being drunk.
Well, somebody did threaten to drag me up and duet Bat Out of Hell with them, and I told them I would batter them on stage if they put my name on a bit of paper. Someone tried to do, or no, someone did do break stuff. But the problem is, of the, 300 people that were in there, maybe 50 people knew what break stuff was, and we weren't going to sing along to it because it's not a karaoke song unless you're at an actual Limp Bizkit fan club meeting.
A Limp Bizkit karaoke night.
Exactly. No, because no one's actually going to sing along to it. You need the whole bar. If the whole bar's going to sing along, then it's a great song. If 12 people know it, then no. And one of the guys I was with, he looked at me and went, "What the fuck is this?" I went, "I'm almost ashamed to say I like it because this is just a terrible, terrible rendition of this song. Because it's obviously an unlicensed version of it." And it was fucking awful. But the rest of the night, yeah, was great. But yeah, I lost my voice a little bit that at the end of that night. But yeah. How about you, mate? How are you?
So I've done nothing in comparison to what you managed. I went down to London for a football match at the weekend. Don't really want to talk about that, but in general, it was a bank holiday. Had a barbecue at work.
What?
Yep, there was a barbecue at work that you missed out on the Friday.
Oh no.
Yep, it was nothing to do with anything like proper like organized. It was literally just the department that's in the office next to mine. Just
Yeah.
went, we're gonna get a load of meat. Do you want to come for a barbecue? All
Fair
right.
enough.
So yeah, just a barbecue in the courtyard that's by my office.
Nice.
It was pretty chill. Yeah, but I actually played video games, unlike some people on this podcast about video games.
Did I? I didn't play any. I played the Division for an hour with you,
Yeah,
and I played
and Lee.
and Lee, and I played a mobile game for the first time in like a year as well. I went out and I found a mobile game and purposely downloaded it to play it. We'll talk about that later.
Cool. But I also decided to pick up that free language learning app, Duolingo.
Okay.
So I'm slowly teaching myself German.
Okay.
For no other reason, the fact that I got bored and was like, you know what, I'm gonna fucking learn German.
Why not?
Exactly.
I should do that with Spanish.
Yeah, it'd be useful. You might actually have the ability to order cervezas when you go to Barcelona.
So I'm going to Spain for work in like 2 months. It could probably be helpful if I knew some Spanish.
I mean, I'm assuming most people just speak English to you while you're there.
It's fucking Spain. They all speak English because English people are so fucking arrogant. They refuse to learn Spanish or any language whatsoever and insist that everybody else speak English.
Everybody speaks English as long as you speak slowly and loudly enough at them.
Exactly. Exactly that. I will gladly go in and be a tourist and just yell slowly.
Yeah, maybe you should learn Italian.
Maybe. So I can
Or,
move there.
yeah, just eat all the fucking pizza and garlic bread.
Pizza's the same though, that's the thing. Pizza's just pizza.
True. As is pasta, I
Yeah.
guess. But you kind of have to choose the type of pasta you want.
Yeah. Yeah. So
But
German.
coffee, just loads of coffee.
Yeah. Don't ask them for white coffee because they look at you and go, "The fuck."
They just look at you as if you're racist somehow.
It's amazing. I forgot when I went to the airport when I was coming back from Italy. I forgot that we were in Italy, and I just said, "Americano with milk, please." She looked at me like I just shat on her breakfast and asked her to pay for it. That was great.
Dumbass.
Yeah.
Oh, are we going to bother with news?
There's
That's
nothing to
kind of
fucking talk about.
because Gamescom kind of happened like last week, and well, apart from the obvious, well, they're going to show off a load of new stuff about games that is coming out at some point in the future, like Death Stranding with its pissing mechanic.
Well,
And
yeah, I mean, I do think we need to talk about this because the more they fucking show about Death Stranding, I've said this before, the more they show, the less interested I get. And I watched a little bit of the gameplay thing they had, and pissing. Why? Why do I need the ability to piss?
the thing is the fact that they stood on the thing and said, "Oh, by the way, if you move the camera around, then he turns around with you, so you can't look at Norman Reedus's penis."
Well, it's good that they built that
Norman
in there.
penis. You can't look at Norman penis.
But fuck you. But I don't understand why it's there. But two bits really annoyed me. That's what fucking Jeff Keighley appearing as fucking Death Stranding's very own Cortana, which was
Yeah.
just hilarious. and pointless, mainly because it wasn't his voice. All he did was the mocap for it. He didn't do any voice work, no nothing, so it's just his face. Excellent.
Nice.
But it looks like, so I watched a bit of it, and it's, I don't know, Norman Reedus was walking as he's going to be forever. Yeah, so you have Norman Reedus just walking, which is fine. If you've got this whole big exploration game and you want your game to be about exploration, that's great. But
Give me a vehicle.
I don't even mind the walking if you're going to make it interesting, but they quite clearly know that they haven't made it interesting because they've skipped massive chunks of it. Because there's nothing to see, there's nothing to show. And I don't know, man. This is...
It doesn't help that they've shown almost nothing about what it is that you're doing in the game, really, apart from walking around with essentially a womb in front of you that you need to recharge the batteries on every so often.
Yep. Someone needs to be able to tell Kojima no. Or
You can't keep doing these things and expecting people to pay for it. He's clearly pushing the boundaries. He knows that he's doing something that's fucking insane. He's just waiting for someone to say, no, you can't do that.
Yeah.
Or the worst part is that people have said no to some of his ideas, and this stuff has been deemed acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah. The thing is, I don't think he's ever been told no, not properly. Which is kind of what happens with, auteur directors. It's just what happens. But Tarantino's quite a classic example. His editor, I can't remember her name off the top of my head, and somebody that knows films will be screaming at me because I really should. Paula something. Doesn't matter. She used to... she's the guy that she's the person that said to him, like, oh, Pulp Fiction's not working, let's do it like this, and turn Pulp Fiction into what it was. And that made it a masterpiece. And it never dragged, it never sagged, it was perfect. And then, sadly, a few years ago, she died. And his films ever since have been long and meandering and fucking boring because he hasn't got anybody around him to say no. And this is what Kojima needs. Kojima needs someone to just go, mate, tone it down. Or stop doing this. We don't need babies giving thumbs up in people's throats. This is just fucking scrap it.
We don't need ghost babies breastfeeding.
No, we don't. We really don't. And I
still don't understand the fuck out of that scene at all. I don't know what's going on at all in any kind of way.
No. I've said it before. I say it again. Death Stranding, I've lost all interest in it. I won't be going anywhere near it. I just won't.
Isn't Mads Mikkelsen supposed to be in it?
Mads Mikkelsen is in it, as is Guillermo del Toro. Two people I love dearly.
So I saw Guillermo del Toro in the last of the stuff they showed off, but I haven't seen anything about Mads since the original release.
Isn't he like the main bad guy or something?
Yeah, that's why I'm a bit confused.
I do not know.
I mean, I'm glad I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't play it.
But you're really gutted you're going to be missing out on that, aren't you?
Yeah. Although, it was shown recently that on, I think, PlayStation Australia, Death Stranding has been removed from their exclusives list.
Yeah. Yeah, that appeared in the news last week before?
Yeah, something like that.
So I don't know what that means, because...
I mean, it's console exclusive to PlayStation.
Yeah.
Because it's coming onto PC as well.
Is it going onto PC?
I think it is. I think that's...
Oof, because I don't think that engine's ever been used on a PC. That would be interesting.
I think I saw somewhere that it was going onto PC at some point in the future. Don't make me Google these things.
I'm just having a look on the Wikipedia thing. Platforms, PlayStation 4. That's about it. But yeah, maybe it will because it's Sony, isn't it? So Sony can put stuff on Steam or on, stick it
Death Stranding is a timed exclusive.
Okay.
Apparently.
Fair enough.
Oh well. What else? Did we talk about? They showed off some stuff for Need for Speed Heat.
Did we talk about that last episode?
I feel like we did, because I feel like we've spoken about Need for Speed Heat in some way.
Did we talk on the podcast, or did we talk when we were playing Division?
Good question.
Oh, sorry, just had to cough.
I can't remember.
Maybe we could talk
Is
about Need for Speed Heat briefly then, because yeah, it was shown off at Gamescom. We haven't recorded an episode since Gamescom.
Was it shown off at Gamescom or was it rumored beforehand and then
I think it was leaked like the day before Gamescom
I can't even remember when Gamescom was or when
last
our last
week.
episode was.
Last week. So our last episode was two
Oh yeah,
Fridays ago.
because I remember we were playing the Division. I was talking about the car list as they announced it, and
That's
I
the one.
said that there was a lot of BMWs on it.
Yes, yes, there are, because when you watch the trailer for it, the BMW logo is like really prominent.
Clearly, Need for Speed have got a deal with BMW, which means that BMWs will not be in many racing games in the next couple of years. Like when EA had a Porsche license, I think it was, and
Yep.
then couldn't get Porsche games in any other racing game. You had to get the rough editions.
Yes, you did. Yeah, but it
It was
looked
a bit. I think Turn 10 had a Ferrari license for a while, which meant
okay.
that Ferraris were difficult to get hold of in other racing games. But they were a bit more open with it. They allowed people to have Ferraris, just not
Yeah,
certain ones, like the iconic ones, like the F50 and stuff.
yeah. But it's. I mean, it looks a bit naff, but it looks like Need for Speed. As long as it doesn't have the Need for Speed one. I mean, it was called Need for Speed. How do I? It wasn't a remake. But it was just called Need for Speed. But the
Yeah,
one with all the fucking motion, not the motion capture,
FMVs.
the FMVs, which was just awful. It
Yeah,
was the
that really
worst.
brought you out of the game.
Yeah. So I'll give it a go. I generally enjoy my time with Need for Speed, and I didn't hate not Rivals. Was Rivals the last one?
I want to say yes. The Rivals was the last one.
It was whatever one that you played as like three or four different characters, and each character had like a specific race type that he would do. And I think I got close to the end of the campaign, and then just got myself into a drag race I couldn't win. Which happens with every racing game for me. I get to a point where I'm just like, I just can't win anymore, and now this isn't fun. You know, I do put some effort in. I don't expect to be able to win with no effort whatsoever, but it would be nice to be able to finish stuff, and I can't when it comes to racing games. But yeah, I'll give it a go. It might be fun.
I think someone tweeted at Toyota about
That was great.
us asking about if Need for Speed he had one of their cars. I can't remember which one it was.
They said, what game are they in? They're in
But they're
Forza.
in G. Yeah, no,
Oh,
they're
they're
in GT.
GT.
Yeah, they've got a
Yeah,
license to GT.
because they responded with, you can find our cars in GT where we don't, uh,
We
we
don't
don't
condone street
glorify
race.
illegal street racing.
Need for Speed just replied back with nerds.
Yeah,
Genius.
but it got taken down, which is really sad. I thought it was great, but obviously you can't take a joke. So that's the kind of joke I don't mind leaving up. That is a genuine you can't take a joke. It's not like when sexist and racist dickheads go, I can't take a joke. No, it's not the same.
So, no, that wasn't a joke. You thinking it's funny is not the same as as it being appropriate to say in public.
Yeah,
Oh, snowflakes.
exactly.
Fucking
Yeah,
assholes.
yeah.
Uh, what else?
Don't know.
Don't really think anything else really happened at Gamescom. Um,
I'll be honest. I was busy. I was prepping for Fright Fest and going to Fright Fest, and yeah, I'm still cleaning up after Fright Fest. I've still got. I accidentally. Well, I didn't accidentally. I tripped into an interview with a couple of directors. So I'm in the middle of kind of transcribing that and turning that into an article. Mate, transcribing interviews is a fucking ball ache. It's really quite shit.
yeah, I can imagine.
It may be the worst part of this pastime I've ever had.
Last thing we got out of Gamescom that I want to talk about briefly.
Go on then.
More stuff about the Stadia. So with Stadia now having a actually pretty large library,
Yeah.
uh, Cyberpunk's going onto it, which was announced at Gamescom.
Okay.
And there's like 40 games going onto Stadia over the course of all of the games that have been announced in time.
Yeah.
So it's like the games that are currently out from like The Division 2 and Tomb Raider,
Yeah.
to games that are coming out in the future like Watch Dogs, like the near future Watch Dogs. Football Manager 2020, which is out in November,
Yeah.
is going onto Stadia. I'm guessing at launch because it'll be, well, roughly the same time.
When's the Stadia out?
I want to say November. All I know is I can't wait for mine to arrive so I can plug it in. But there's other games going onto it that are not only not out yet, but have also only kind of been teased once at an E3 in like Marvel's Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's, I'm quite excited about trying it. We shall see.
Yeah. Well, the easiest thing is the fact that with the Stadia subscription that you
Yeah.
get being a founder right from the bat means that you've got access to a 40 game library
Yeah.
essentially, minus the ones that aren't yet out, to just go and hit and play
Yeah.
for while you're still waiting for your subscription of Founder Edition to lapse
Yeah.
and your Ubisoft Plus sub. And you can play all of the Assassin's Creed games that go onto Stadia.
Whoop, whoop. That would be a series I would not mind replaying from start to finish, but some of those games are so fucking long and long-winded. And some of them are not good.
Unity.
I didn't hate Unity. I have a
Um,
real soft spot for the first Assassin's Creed.
Revelations. Revelations is the worst.
Revelations is crap. Assassin's Creed 1 I really like, because I really like the protagonist in it, and I really like the story. That was something new and different. But I tried to replay it a couple of years ago, maybe.
Oh yeah.
It is so fucking boring.
It's because it's the first one in the series, so
Yeah,
you've not got all of the cool and interesting gear and gadgets and stuff that you pick up later on.
yeah,
Just because it's the first one, they haven't quite learnt that you can have things like guns, crossbows,
yeah,
two hidden blades,
yeah,
and more than just standing in the middle of a circle of people and just holding down the counter button,
yeah.
just waiting for them to hit you.
But it also means I have to play through Origins, not Origins, sorry, Origins was great. Odyssey, which I still haven't finished because just the thought of turning it on makes my arse itch.
Odyssey's going onto Stadia for definite.
Yeah, well it will do because it's the newest, biggest one.
Yeah. How would I rank Assassin's Creed games? 4 would be my top one.
Yeah,
4, 3, Syndicate, Brotherhood, 2.
I don't know, probably Origins. Origins 4, Brotherhood, Syndicate 2, 3, 1, Revelations, and Odyssey. I think I've got them all.
Yeah.
Yeah. And don't get me wrong, Odyssey I think fits the model for some people. Not me. I did not like it. I was bored, and what really annoyed me was I felt like I was playing for 3 or 4 hours, and then suddenly the fucking title screen came up, and I was like, wait, what? I've not even started the fucking story. I was like, oh, fuck you. But yeah, it's a bit naff.
Right. So,
Is that it? No more news?
yep, that's all of the news that we really kind of have.
Awesome. It's going to be a short episode, I reckon, then, mate.
That's what we always like to hear.
Yeah.
So let's go with some kind of what we've been playing.
Okay.
Brooks, apart from The Division and nothing, what have you been playing?
I downloaded and played Gears Pop.
Yay.
It was fun. I liked
I,
it. I played it for
I,
an
I
hour and
can
then
imagine.
uninstalled it, but but I got achievements for it in that hour, so woohoo! I found myself in a online battle with somebody. I had no idea. I thought I was playing against the AI. It turned out no, I was playing against somebody online, and I won, which I was very happy with. But I don't even know. I'm sure this kind of game has a name, but I don't know what it is. But you just have like units that you send up toward your enemy, and you have to kill your enemy and like the two big guns and their big main guy at the back before they send people down to you and kill your two big guns and big guy at the back. And you can have you can take cover, and you can like possess cover. That way, it has to be taken from you, and your guys can always start there and hide behind it, and they get a little bit extra protection. And you get coins for doing it as well, so you get to unlock extra things that you can play with. So at this point, if you put it on now, and there's people that have been playing it all day long since the day it came out, you're never going to beat them because they're going to have so much shit they can just throw at you.
So I think they're called um, Tower Defense Battle Arenas.
Yeah, I would call. Yeah, feel a battle arena seems right. It's not quite a tower defense game, but yeah, I suppose it fits. Yeah,
Yeah. It's because they're not massive battle arenas like a MOBA, but yeah, that's like because it's two towers. Well, towers versus towers.
yeah.
Clash Royale's the same design.
Oh, okay. I had no idea. I've never played Clash Royale.
It's kind of addictive, but I got bored very quickly after getting to the point where it's like, well, I'm playing this just for the sake of playing this now.
Oh, fair enough. Does Clash have a like a cover system in it?
No, there's no cover system in it.
Okay.
It's pretty much you start units and they just like walk towards the other side of the map,
Yeah.
and you kind of just hope for the best.
Okay. Yeah. That's what Gears Pop is, but it does have a cover system that is. You can't have a Gears game of any sort without a cover system because Gears is a cover shooter.
Yeah.
Uh, but yeah, it was all right because it seems to be all online. I've not played it offline yet. I don't know how that would even work.
I don't. You probably can't.
No. So if I start playing it on the tube, I don't know what happens. It also didn't auto download to my phone, so I'm guessing it only works on my iPad.
Hmm. Maybe.
Uh, I mean, to be honest, that does kind of solve the playing it on the tube thing, so my iPad never goes on the tube with me.
I can't imagine it wouldn't work on your phone. Your phone's pretty big.
Well, yeah, but but the thing that when you install something on your iPad or your iPhone, it will automatically install that on all of your iDevices
Yeah.
if it has the ability to do so. And Gears Pop didn't.
This is where it's on your phone, just on a different window, and you haven't found it yet.
Yeah. Well, literally, I'm just searching on the App Store for Gears Pop. No, that's the iTunes Store. That's not going to work.
No, that's not gonna work.
There you go, Gears Pop. Let's see what happens. Oh no, it will let me install it. Cool. Just for some reason didn't this time. Maybe I turned off the thing because it was annoying me. I don't know. Yeah. So you get like you unlock like Gears characters as well. So I've got like Marcus Phoenix and the Coltrane.
Nice. Coltrane runs on whole grain, baby.
Yes, he does. Uh, it's all right. It's a fucking mobile game.
It's exactly what you need it to be.
Yeah. Uh, the only reason I installed it was I was curious. Uh, I had an hour and a bit's worth of fun with it, and it's exactly what I knew it was going to be. So yeah, Gears Pop. What have you played,
Gears
mate?
pop. So, as mentioned in the previous episode, I managed to get hold of a copy from our lovely rental company, Boomerang, Car Mechanic Simulator.
Oh yeah. How was
You know
that?
what? It's a surprising amount of fun and requires a surprising amount of concentration.
Okay.
So, you start off in like a tutorial area where it's like, here's two cars and a fully kitted out garage. And it's like you can do whatever you want. And then when you're done, you just walk to the exit and then you start the main game.
Yeah.
So I walked in, did a couple of things, just like messing about, but I couldn't work out how to put the parts back on the car after I'd taken them off and started doing repairs.
Yeah.
I had no idea because it doesn't really tutorial you into that kind of information. You just
Okay.
kind of have to kind of hope and press the right buttons.
Yeah.
So then I started the main game, and it is literally as simple as you press a button to look at your orders, pick one of the ones that's available to you. You get delivered the car and a set of instructions of to do with it. So like the first one I got was, I've bought this car for my son, and all he wants to do is drive it around and put fuel in it. Can you check the tires and oil?
Nice.
So I literally put it on the ramp, took the wheels off, bought four new tires,
Yeah.
stuck the tires on the bit of kit to take the tires off of the rims, fit the new tires onto the rims, did the balancing, fitted them on, got the tool for pulling the oil out, drained the oil, poured new oil in, and then was done.
Okay.
So it's literally that simple. And then you get more interesting type ones where it's like my car's making a weird squeaking noise when I brake. Could you take a look at what the problem is? And it's like so then you just like go, okay, yeah. And it comes up with, oh yeah, there's 15 problems with this car. You need to find them all. And then
Okay.
you just like get to a point of now I'm just taking the car apart because I need to pull each part out to inspect to see if there's anything wrong with it.
Yeah.
And it just takes fucking forever because you take each part off to see if it's got a problem, and then it's like, nope, there's no problem here. Put it back, move on to the next one. Oh, no problem here. Oh, I can't take this part off without taking this part off. Like, well, it's pulling a car apart. I think at one point I actually took most of the front axle apart
Nice.
of one car trying to find the problem. Turned out the problem was the radiator. The last bit of issue was one of the fans on the radiator.
Nice.
After I'd taken more or less the entire front axle off because all of the other problems were on the fucking front wheels.
Excellent.
Yeah, so I played that. But I will say this about the game because I said it takes a surprising amount of concentration. It as a game I wasn't able to play Football Manager at the same time.
Wow.
I was literally focused entirely on Car Mechanic Simulator
Yeah.
that I wasn't even like playing Football Manager because I couldn't because there was no gaps in the game.
Yeah.
In gameplay. It's literally all the time you're working on something. You're either putting a part on a car, taking a part off, doing some repairs, going to the computer to buy stuff, balancing the wheels, or draining the oil and pouring some more in. It all requires effort and you to be paying attention. You
Yeah.
can't just go and then reach a point, you just go, yeah, I'm just going to leave the car half hanging apart and then like play a match on Football Manager.
Yeah.
It's not like Battlefield where it's like it's like you've just been killed, so you now need to wait like 30 seconds for a respawn.
Yeah.
Or playing a racing game where it's like, oh, I'm waiting for a loading screen because there's no loading screens. It's literally just everything's available because it's a fucking tiny game. It's like 7 gigs. It's like there's nothing to it. So yeah, it's exactly what it seemed to be.
Fair enough.
Relatively perfect for what it tried to be.
Yeah.
Didn't offer more than and didn't deliver less. So, what's your mystery game that you got hold of while you were down in old London town?
I didn't know. I didn't get. Oh Jesus! Excuse me. I didn't get hold of anything.
Oh, you watched some stuff
Well,
about
no,
it.
there was one of the sponsors for Fright Fest was Bandai Namco. Namco Bandai.
Yes.
whichever way they run their name now, uh, who are publishing Man of Medan. So there was like a dev session with one of the guys from Man of Medan, one of the guys that worked on Man of Medan. So for those who don't know, Man of Medan is the first part of what's being called the Dark Anthologies series. It's a ghost ship themed horror game made by the guys that made Until Dawn. Now, Until Dawn is a fucking superb game. Until Dawn as a horror game is really good because it makes you feel like a horror film director, which is right up my street. It's basically a high-end Telltale point-and-click game, but scary.
Ooh.
And it's got Rami Malek and Peter Stormare in it. So Man of Medan is, I believe Medan has got something to do with the name of the ship. So I still don't know a lot, and that's kind of on purpose. I've kind of avoided a lot of things to do with it because pre-release materials tend to, right, especially for horror stuff, tend to give away the good scares or ruin your experience somehow. And I have Man of Medan pre-ordered, so I want to be playing it. But I got to sit in on this dev session, which was really cool. And I actually got to ask a couple of questions. And the thing, my biggest one with Man of Medan is it's got online co-op, which interests me a lot. Did you ever play Until Dawn?
I wanted to,
Right.
despite the fact of what it is. I actually wanted to, but again, PlayStation didn't
Yeah.
touch.
So the guy was saying, right, so what happened with Until Dawn was, because Until Dawn hit right around the time like Twitch was starting to get big. And obviously there's a Twitch app on the PlayStation. And he said like the day that the game launched, he got home, switched on his PS4, booted up Twitch and just to see if anybody was streaming Until Dawn, and like the whole fucking world was. Hundreds of people just streaming uh, this video game slash horror movie thing for the world to see. But of course, because it's PlayStation, it streams your little camera as well. And it turned out that people were playing it uh, in co-op, which it doesn't have. Until Dawn is a single-player experience. There is no co-op in it at all. But because it bounces around with different characters, people will kind of just sit around the TV and just pass the controller around whenever the character changed.
That's cool.
And it seemed to go down really well, and loads of people played it like that, and like it was quite a heavily requested feature. And obviously, after Until Dawn, we got, I've forgotten what it's called, the fucking roller coaster thing that was VR only. Doesn't matter, but it was Until Dawn something, and then we got the Impatient, which was also an Until Dawn thing. But they were VR single player experiences, so they couldn't do that again. So now they've made this Man of Medan. So Until Dawn was PS4 exclusive. Man of Medan isn't. It is on everything, including Stadia, quite possibly. So what it's done, so it now has two multiplayer modes, and this is the bit that really interested me. So it has two multiplayer modes, and one is literally called Movie Night. It's called Movie Night multiplayer mode for 2 to 5 players, and you all gather around the screen, and you all assign yourselves characters. And then when that character comes on screen, the game will pause and say, hand the controller to Brooker, it's his turn. So you hand the
Nice.
controller over, tap X to start it going, and then I get to play that bit. And then when that bit's done, it pauses and it does it again. Obviously, it breaks the flow a little bit, but from what I saw, it doesn't do it badly. But it's no different to when you're playing Until Dawn and doing it. You're having to pause the game and hand it over anyway. So that worked really well. But they've also got this online co-op element, which really kind of, it left me dubious, I have to admit. Not the dev session, but beforehand, it left me dubious because anybody that's played Dead Space 3 or well, even like Gears 1, because Gears 1's quite atmospheric. Uh, Later Resi games, like 5 and 6, or not 6, but 5 especially. You know, all these horror games, you can't get the horror right because you have to be able to plan for both people being in the same place at the same time. So if you're playing in co-op and you want a big jump scare, you either have the jump scare when one person triggers it, or you wait till both people are together in that spot and then have the scare. But at which point, all atmosphere is gone. It also doesn't help when you're playing like an action game. You're talking.
Yeah.
You know, we've said it a dozen times when we fucking play The Division. The best bit about playing The Division is just talking bollocks with your mates while you're playing it. And that would happen with Dead Space 3, or it would happen with Resi 5. You're playing in co-op, you're talking shit, and you know, maybe if you're trying to concentrate on the story a little bit, but there will be times where you go up and go, feels like something's supposed to be, you know, jumping out from behind me here. And you know the atmosphere's there, but it can't happen because the game has hamstrung itself by allowing two players into the same section.
So,
Uh,
yeah, playing Resident Evil. I feel like something's supposed to be jumping out on me here. Oh yeah, there is. I've already killed it.
yeah, exactly. So I asked him like point blank. I was like, "Have you fixed that problem?" Because that is an issue, especially for a game like Until Dawn is quite scary. It's only jump scares, and it doesn't like the jump scares don't last for long, but the scares are there as you would expect them to be in a horror film. So I asked him point blank, "So have you fixed it for co-op?" And the dude literally looked at me and went, "It's kind of magic." We had, I said, and he looked at me, he agreed with me, and was like, "I understand, and I know exactly what you're saying. You know, I can't tell you how we've done it because it will spoil bits of the game for you, but it's kind of magic, and it does work very well." I was like, I am intrigued, and I have at least one friend who will be buying Man of Medan, so I will probably do a little bit of co-op with him, and that will be kind of fun. Uh,
You also have a friend who will not ever consider touching Man of Medan.
well, this is why I haven't said to you, are you going to play Man of Medan with me? Because you won't touch it. Uh, but actually, he also said a big part of it is a lot of the co-op stuff, you're not always on screen together. So
Okay.
you can play separate parts of the story, or you will be playing separate parts of the story because you play as different characters, and a lot of the characters are doing things at the same time. So an example he showed was right at the beginning of the game. You're Sean Astin on a ship or on a boat talking to somebody, and you're talking to somebody who's worried about divers in the water who are doing something, but you know there's people coming around and that, and so you're playing Sean Astin. But then your next scene is you zip back in time, and now you're playing the divers at the same time, but from their perspective. So actually, when you're playing in co-op, what will happen is one of you will play the guy on the boat, and one of you will play one of the divers, and it will happen at the same time. And your, you know, any reactions you make, because it is like a Telltale game, and it is, you know, you choose to do something, and it will affect the game in some way. Positive, negative, indifferent, doesn't matter. There will be an impact for what you do. And he was saying, obviously, a lot of this is he's trying to sell you the game, so
Yeah.
he's embellishing a little bit. But he did quite. It piqued my interest when he said we had QA testers that would say you need to put something on screen to say that, you know, player two is making a decision or something along those lines, because there were times when they would forget that they were in a co-op game with someone. I was like, well, that sounds good. And then you kind of both meet up at the end of like that scene, like one comes out of the water and does his thing, and one's still on the boat, and you know there is something, whether it be, you know, you've got a bruise on your face suddenly, or I found a thing, and you can choose to explain how that happened to your co-op partner or not. Which I quite like the idea. I quite like the idea of going, I don't want to tell this guy how this happened. I want to see if he can figure it out. Or I don't want to say I did this because he's going to blame me when someone dies later on. Uh, I did want to ask him, and I forgot to. And I wanted to ask if it was possible to get through the game and save everybody like it is in Until Dawn. But yeah, we kind of ran out of time. But yeah, I got to see a lot of gameplay that I hadn't seen before because mainly I'd avoided it. It looks like a lot of fun. I'm very excited for it. It's a good time for horror at the moment. Horror games. Blair Witch comes out on Friday.
Yes, it is.
On Game Pass as well, so no fucking around. I'll just install it.
I think you can pre-install it now.
Nice. I have heard some not so good things about it, which is a shame. One of the video game podcasts I listened to, I was actually listening to it on the walk back from the pub over the weekend, and they were saying they went to a preview event for it 4 weeks ago or something, and they were embargoed till this week to be able to talk about it.
Ouch.
Yeah, that's not good. And then he started talking. I was like, oh, this is. Oh, well, I won't be buying it, but if it's on Game Pass, I'll give it a shot. I think the general consensus is because it's Blair Witch and it's obviously found footage. You can't have the Blair Witch and not make it found footage. If you don't make it found footage, it won't be a Blair Witch game, or it won't be a Blair Witch anything.
Pretty much, yeah.
What it will be is the Blair Witch sequel, which was fucking terrible. But you know, the Blair Witch had its time and had its place. It's you know, it's playing in a post Outlast world, and Outlast was fucking amazing for with that found footage style, playing through the camera and running out of batteries and shit, and it was fucking terrifying, really fucking scary. So I don't know. I'll give Blair Witch a go, but yeah, Man of Medan comes out on Friday, or today as this podcast comes out. And I hopefully will be playing it over the weekend, assuming I get the mountain of shit that I've still got to catch up with after Fright Fest done. But yeah, that was pretty much my only gaming experience. I've been so busy the last few weeks, mate. Fright Fest aside, I've been so busy the last few weeks. I just haven't had time to play. It's getting to me a little bit as well, I'll be honest. Yeah, I want to play my games.
Oh yeah. That's why we had that episode not that long ago of games we wish we could play, but we just try.
Exactly that. Like, I spent 2 hours with you guys a couple of days before Fright Fest playing The Division, which was awesome.
And we only did like 2 missions.
But this is it. We accomplished absolutely fucking nothing, and I still have The Division in my house now. I'm gonna do it because I do it every time we start talking about it. And as we talk, I'm gonna go onto Boomerang and see how much it's gonna, because it keeps going down every time I check. How much is it going to cost me to keep it?
You need to find out if there's going to be a cross save for Stadia and a cross play.
For you, be unlikely, I reckon.
Because then you could just put it on your Stadia and just play the Stadia version.
It'd be nice. But yeah, I don't see that happening, to be fair. Currently renting. Oh no, it's still at £19 to keep.
That's not a bad price.
It's not, to be fair. And payday, I might keep it. We'll see. See how bad. I've got so many things to pay out for now.
If only you weren't going to see Slipknot 5 times this year.
Wow, only twice, and it's next year.
Okay, that's much better.
Well, yeah, I can call it an expense for next year because it's in January. Although I now have to. The first thing I do when I get back to work tomorrow is go and book the Friday off because I'm going to Birmingham on a Friday on my own to get down the front and get in the crowd, and then on the Saturday I'm going down to the O2 with the wife, the child, one of the child's friends from school and his mum.
Okay.
Because they're going as well.
All right.
Which is it's fucking awesome. My kid's first concert is going to be a Slipknot concert.
Wish my first concert was a Slipknot concert.
My first concert was a Guns N' Roses concert. I'm okay with that.
Mine was Brian Ferry.
I would not be okay with that. But yeah, I've got that to pay for. Obviously, We've got EGX in October, which I would rather not be
Ooh.
completely broke for. Yeah, yeah. I want to keep it because, like I said to you guys the other day, I want to keep it mainly because I've cut my subscription down to one game at a time, just to save a few quid. Uh,
It's at
because
the point where you might as well be fucking keeping it
well,
based
this
on
is
the
it.
fact that you've had it for so long.
Well, I've had it in house since release day. It's 2 months old at $15.99 a month, and that's all I've rented for the last 2 months.
It's got to be more than 2 months old by now.
I don't know. I've been playing nothing but Hitman.
Maybe you should have rented Hitman.
Oh God, no! In 2 months,
Most.
mate, I'd have had that fucking thing for a year at $15.99 a month. So no, absolutely not.
Ultimate subscription service to Hitman.
Yeah, I'll be honest. The second it goes into a really good sale digitally, I will pick it up just so I don't have to keep putting the damn disc in. But yeah,
You wouldn't even need to buy like a super special edition digitally. You could just buy a regular edition
I
because
just
you've
need,
already got the content for the super
yeah,
special.
yeah. I just need the base. That's all I need is the base game. To be
Or
fair,
just wait for it to go to Game Pass at some point.
yeah, when the base game goes onto Game Pass, I can just install that because again, I still have the disc and I still have all the DLC for it. But yeah, but that's immaterial.
Yeah.
But yeah, I played Division for 2 hours, got absolutely nowhere with it because we basically just sat chatting bollocks and shooting shit in random corridors.
Oh, and going to areas where none of us were the right level to be in, and yet we still decided to start fighting people.
Yes, that was rather stupid of us.
It was mostly Lee's fault. He started the fight. I'd gone that way originally and gone, hang on a sec, this isn't the right way, and went to go the other way, and then Lee decided to go fucking start shooting people.
Yeah. Yeah, that's literally all of my. I started an Until Dawn playthrough with every intention of being finished it before the Man and Medan thing and being able to talk about it on the podcast, and I've been so busy, I've no chance. I did one Hitman elusive target because suddenly realised shit, there's an elusive target I need to do, and I have a record of not missing any yet, and now I'm scared that there's another one I've missed, so I'm going to go and check that one while I'm talking as well.
So I'll add on. I've actually played another game.
Go on then.
I played F1 2019 because I'm also renting that from Boomerang.
Okay.
It's more of every F1 game I've played since 2015.
Yeah.
There's not been a major update apart from the drivers being in different cars,
Yeah.
the car performances being slightly different based on them being different in real world.
Yeah.
But it's still roughly the same mechanic of you do some practice, you earn some resource points, you apply those resource points into your R&D department for them to make your car better.
Okay.
So this differences for this one compared to 2018 are things like there's Formula 2.
Okay.
So the second tier of open wheel racing in Europe, the world, has some playable missions, kind of, where you just have to do some objectives before you do your main career to decide on what team you're going to become when you move up. Because you can choose the driver program you go into. I chose the Ferrari one because I prefer the Ferrari teams to the other ones. And you can change teams midway through the season, which I don't think you could do in the last one, because you've got the option to, when you get a contract renewal to come around, because your value is higher than the value of your contract based on your performances. And you can opt to join a different team if you think the contract's better. So I'd originally started with Alfa Romeo because they had a plus 75% bonus to reward points for race positioning. So the better I did in a race, the more resource I got a 75% bonus. Basically doubled the resource points
Yeah.
almost, which meant that my R&D was done quicker.
Okay.
And then when my contract renewal came up, like after like 5 races,
Yeah.
they removed that from the contract. There was no more 75% bonus, so I went looking for a team that had the next best bonus, and it happened to be Ferrari with a 50% bonus to R&D.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, I guess I'll just pick that one.
Yeah.
So now I race for Ferrari.
Yeah. Why not?
So yeah, pretty much just jumped up from a bottom tier team to the top of the fucking teams just because I wanted an R&D bonus.
Yeah.
But I probably won't make the end of the race series
No.
or season. No, I'll probably be sending it back to Boomerang in a little while because, like I said, it's another racing game where not much has changed. So it's just, well, it's more of the same, and sometimes that's not a good thing.
No.
I mean, don't get me wrong, I absolutely adore racing games still, and I really think Cody's are making some fantastic racing games. But it's got to a point now where it doesn't matter about how realistic they try and make it. It still looks like you're playing a racing game of a Formula One
Yeah.
because it's just graphics can't get any better when it comes to this kind of stuff. You literally are stuck with, well, it looks really cool, but it still looks like I'm racing in a game
Yeah.
and not real life stuff.
No.
But that's something that racing games will always have that you don't really get in like in the Division. The Division 2 looks like Washington from my own knowledge of what Washington looks like.
Yeah.
Weaponry looks kind of real. Everything looks just about real enough because you've got more detail to look at. A racing game, you have the same front of your car
Yeah.
for 70 laps of a circuit where you can see all of the fucking corners a mile away. And it's just green grass
Yeah.
around you and walls and a couple of buildings in the distance because they've got a bit of background. But the long and the short of it is, racing games, I think, until they can somehow manage to code in like basically photographs of what's in front of you,
Yeah.
that we need a massive update to the tech for racing games.
Yeah. Fair enough. Oh shit. Sorry, there's
So,
stuff in my computer that doesn't want to do that.
all right. So that's F1 2019. I don't hate it, but again, it's just I need something different, and I don't imagine that they're going to be able to get a new Formula One game for a long time to really improve on what they've got
No.
because they've pretty much hit the limit of what's available to them.
Fair enough.
It's not like any other racing game franchise where they can just go, oh yeah, we've added some more tracks for no reason. So well, these tracks aren't on the racing calendar, or we've added extra cars. Well, they can't because they've only got Formula One teams to go for.
Yeah.
They're very restricted in what they've got access to based on the fact that it's a game entirely on the Formula One calendar.
Yeah.
Whereas Forza, GT, Grid, Need for Speed have an almost entirely unrestricted library of vehicles and tracks they can pick from based on what they can afford.
Mm-hmm.
It is what it is,
Yeah.
and, and that's what I've played.
Fair enough.
So, you got anything else anymore?
Not really. No. I just I I've said to the other half, I've gone, it is getting a bit silly now. It's been like 3 weeks since I've done anything but play Hitman, Elusive Target, or The Division. So, after this weekend, I've got a bit of writing that I need to get done and get out of the way next couple of days. But after that, I want to play some fucking games. I don't care if they're new or they're old. I just want to play some fucking games. So, hopefully, next episode, I'll have plenty to talk about. Hopefully.
If you're going to pick a game to play that's not those two, don't make it Doom.
Why not?
Because you've played enough Doom.
There's no such thing as playing enough Doom.
There is.
There's
Any
really
amount
not.
of Doom is enough. Doom. Just because you're getting a Stadia doesn't mean you need to play Doom.
Yes, it does. Doom is on Stadia. I have to play it again. I have to.
And Doom Eternal on Stadia.
Doom. I'm still secretly kind of hoping I will trip across the £200 to buy the Doom Eternal Special Edition because I want the wearable Doom Marine helmet.
No,
I want to be the Doom Slayer.
I don't care. You're not getting it because it wouldn't fit on your head.
I will make it fit on my head.
The only head it'll fit on will be your kid's head.
That would be just as cool though.
Just her running around, running into stuff with a fucking Doom helmet on.
No. You got this all wrong. I will then create her a nice little outfit for it, and she can walk around on Halloween with a chainsaw.
Because that wouldn't end badly.
Not for me. Maybe for her.
Yeah.
This is life, sweetheart. Get used to it.
Get used to it. If you're going to run around wielding a chainsaw, people are going to kick you
Exactly.
in the face.
This is a life lesson that everybody should learn, damn it. To be fair, I only wanted the special edition because I like the steel book that came with it. It's got a lovely artwork on the steel book. But
Is it £200 nice?
well, it kind of is, but also, Game have just announced that they've got an exclusive. They'll be selling just a steelbook edition. So
That's cool.
I might do that. Obviously, the £200 one comes with the season pass and shit as well, and it's Doom. I know how much you hate Bethesda, but I do like id, and I do like to support their games, especially Doom. Talking of id, actually, I'm quite excited. Friday, Insert Coin are showing their latest collection, and it looks like it's going to be Bethesda/id based because they're hinting towards Wolfenstein stuff.
That's cool.
So, literally sat here, mate, with my fingers firmly crossed for Doom and/or Dishonored stuff. Because I do like Insert Coin stuff.
It is pretty comfy.
Mm.
And well made.
It is usually well made. I mean, the zip fell off of my Infamous one.
I think I tore a hole in my Mass Effect coat.
Oh no!
No, in the pocket, so it's not so bad.
Alright.
But I think it was mostly my fault for jabbing my keys in there too hard.
Yeah, I used to do that with jeans and like work trousers. My work trousers when I worked at the school because I had that massive fucking bundle of keys like a caretaker.
Yeah.
That I used to just chuck in my pocket. I used to go through pockets. I have to once every 2 months I have to resew all my pockets up. But yeah, like my Infamous hoodie is so comfortable. It's my work hoodie now because it's just like the zip bit came off the zipper, so it still zips up, but it's got no dangly thing on it, and I can't just add something else onto it because the loop that it goes into snapped.
Ouch.
Well, I mean, it cost me about 20 quid to go and get a new one fitted, but I just kind of wear it as a jacket now to work. I've got my Gears hoodie, which is like my good hoodie. Problem is, it's a bit thick and it's quite fluffy and warm on the inside. So, and I can't deal with the heat, so I don't wear it that often. So I'm hoping for something nice and Dishonored or Doom flavoured for a new hoodie and maybe a t-shirt or two.
You must be able to get like an Infamous style Karma keychain that you can just put through the loop on the actual zip itself.
No, it's the loop on the zip that's broken.
Okay.
So it would require taking to a I don't even know what you'd call them, a seamstress.
A zip mechanic.
A zip mechanic. But yeah, it would need a proper repair, which I don't mind paying for, but at the same time, it is getting a bit tatty. It is well used. I wear it a lot, so it is it's just my doss about at work hoodie when it's a bit too cold to just walk around in a t-shirt, but nowhere close to cold enough to need my big coat out.
Makes sense.
But yeah, so here's a hoping Friday when that happens. Yeah, that'd be nice. Anyways, I'm just talking bollocks now.
I think we all are.
Yeah. Time to wrap it up.
Yeah, is there a recommendation?
Oh yeah. What did I see? Oh yeah. I kind of, I'm not entirely 100% behind recommending these, but they are big games, and if you're on the service, it can't be bad doing. Darksiders 3 is going on to PlayStation Plus on Tuesday.
Mm.
Yeah. And it's no good to me. I don't have PlayStation Plus, and I wasn't that big a Darksiders 3 fan, but it's quite a new game, and the other one's like Arkham Knight, which I definitely wouldn't recommend, because I played that and fucking hated it. But yeah, there you go. Darksiders 3 on PlayStation Plus on Tuesday. How about you?
Uh, so I'm gonna say that it's actually not until like next Friday, but Gears 5 is going up onto Game Pass if you've got Game Pass Ultimateness.
Yes. Are we playing
Otherwise, it's
some?
it's otherwise it's a no, because I'm away because it's my
Oh,
birthday that weekend.
douchebag.
So I'm up in the north with my favorite dog in the world
Fair enough. Fair enough.
and my mum.
You, dude, you can't open yourself up like that. You just can't. Uh, Fine. I'm actually off work next Friday, so I might install it. I'll try and see if I can get it pre-installed and maybe play a bit.
You can install it now if you've even with Game Pass.
Nice.
If you've got the app on your phone, you can earn Microsoft rewards while you do it as well.
Ooh, I might do that then. Uh, yeah, because I'm off work Friday because
Life
it
is Strange 2 episode 3 is on Game Pass as well because 4's going live soon.
yeah, so I've
Uh,
decided to wait because the wait between episodes is far too long and it's actually annoying me a bit. So even though I've paid for it and I'm getting all the updates for it, I will play episodes 3, 4 and 5 of Life is Strange, or 4 and 5. I think I've only played 1 and 2. I don't remember. I will play the rest of the episodes when the last one is out because when it's a month, I can deal with it, but it's actually the gap is quite substantial, and it's annoying me. I don't remember the story, so actually, what I want to do is once it's finished, once it's all out, I will sit down and just play the whole thing back to back.
I think Devil May Cry 5's gone onto Game Pass as well.
It is. Yeah, it went on to Game Pass last week. That was announced at Gamescom. There was a couple of others. I think that was the Blair Witch announcement as well. Actually, the Blair Witch announcement was last week at Gamescom. Look at that. Gears 5 pre-installed today. Install on Xbox. There we go. Done. Sorted.
Excellent.
Uh,
That's what I like to hear.
yeah, because it's Thursday is the It Chapter 2 double bill. So I've taken Friday off of work so I can go and see a midnight screening of a 3.5 hour long horror movie.
You watching It Chapter 1 and then It Chapter 2.
Yeah, man. The brilliant
Yeah.
bit is I'm also having a 4K steelbook of It Chapter 1 being delivered probably Monday. So we'll watch that, and then I'll go watch the double bill, and then so that's Thursday night, and then Friday I'm taking Maya to see It Chapter 2. So a little bit of a not really a date night. I'm just going to go and watch a horror film, and then on Monday I'm taking my mum to see it. So yeah, there's a lot of fucking killer clowns in my future. I cannot wait.
Yeah. I'm already scared enough for both of us.
Have you seen It Chapter 1? I don't suppose you have you?
No, I have not. To be honest, I actually kind of do want to.
It's really good. Come do the double bill. It's in the super
No,
screen.
I'm not putting myself through multiple hours worth of being terrified.
Fair enough.
If I watch it at home, I can at least fucking pause it.
It is. I'll be honest. It is pretty scary. Like it's got a couple of decent, like really good scares in it. So yeah, you probably want to watch that at home.
It's like I've only just about managed to sit through and watch the opening scene on YouTube before.
Oh, that scene's quite good as well.
Yeah, it shows up on almost every single one of Ash from What Culture's lists of horror stuff.
Yeah, it is great horror. Like it, chapter one is legitimately great horror. Yeah, I'm really looking forward to the sequel, and I couldn't pass up the chance at watching the double bill. I had to,
I'd
and
imagine it's going to be really popular because it Chapter One was actually exceptionally popular,
yeah, oh
and
everybody
lots
saw
of
it.
people are looking forward to number two, especially when the fucking cast for number two is actually pretty fucking good.
Oh yes, oh yes. So I think I'm on review duty for it chapter two as well.
Nice.
But I'll review it. I'll start me writing like Saturday because I'll watch it twice and then get the review done, which I think would be, watching it twice in less than 24 hours. I should be able to do a pretty decent review of it after that.
You'd like to think so.
Yeah, but I can just let it sit and stew for a day and then watch it again and then go write my review. So yeah, I'm super looking forward to it. But I forgot Gears was Friday, so yeah, I'll play I'll play Gears during the day.
Nice. So that kind of wraps us all up nicely.
Nice. It's not even been an hour and a half.
No, it's not. It's barely been an hour 15.
Yeah.
Um, until the next episode, where can people find you apart from the cinema, apparently, and watching it?
Well, that's pretty much the only place you can find me. Or not necessarily it, just all horror.
Just all the horrors.
Yeah. Uh, Twitter, as always, I'm at Brooker411 on Twitter. It's pretty much the only place worth finding me.
It's true. So I am on Twitter as the John_CU, on Xbox Live as Long Dong Silver. And if you're not interested in us as individuals, you can find us as the team duo that we are at Character Unlock on Twitter and Facebook. And you can download and listen to this podcast like you have right now on your podcast channel of choice. So,
Yeah.
as per every other episode, I've been John, your host, and Brooker, say goodbye.
Bye bye.
Goodbye, everyone.